Welcome back to the channel. This video is being recorded a little later than I had planned. It's been a bit of a hectic day, and I had a private reading to do before making this video, and so yeah, there's been a lot to do this day. Overall, it's been a good day, but busy. Probably not going to include a lot of updates in this video. I will mention I watched an interesting video on YouTube about manifesting, like mind over matter, using magic in that particular approach, and I will link this video that I'm talking about in the description, so you'll have it there if you're interested. Check it out. I added it to my favorites list here on YouTube. I found it really interesting and enjoyable. The thing with this video, and it's been my experience that you'll find this, depending on the books that you read and people that you talk to, there are just certain threads that seem interwoven within the practice of magic, no matter what tradition you're approaching or what style you use. There seem to be these threads of commonality and sort of inner truth, and watching that video today, that's the same impression that I got. It's this knowledge of self-awareness of who we are as conscious created beings, who literally have infinite potential. It just comes down to some factors that interfere with our awareness of these things, and in turn our ability to use them. Neither here nor there, just a little part of my day. So, as I normally say, I hope all of you are well. I hope that you had a good day / night / evening. I intend to do 2 readings in this video, and the first one is going to be for Cystal, who I have mentioned before. She does her own YouTube channel where she does readings, and I will link to it for those of you who are new to my channel. Those of you who aren't new, you've already seen it, so you already know that, but either way, the description will be there. And as I've said countless times, I think she does an awesome job with her readings. She did a free one for me a while back during one of her live events, and I found it very insightful and useful. So definitely I recommend that you check out her channel. And so I decided today that, I'd mentioned this before, I need practice working with my cards. And so it seemed very fitting to try to give some thanks back, and so I decided to do a reading for her as a gesture of thanks. So I'm doing that one, and I'm also doing one for Eva. I've mentioned Eva, I'm pretty sure, at least in some of the podcasts that I posted either here or on other sites, and I'll also link to Eva's channel. She does a channel about spirituality and magic and things like that, and so definitely go and check out her channel as well and subscribe there if you're interested. Eva also has a Facebook group. Now that group has been a little inactive recently. I think Eva is, from what she has said on some of the posts in the Facebook group, she's having to take care of a lot of things right now. She's very busy, and so there haven't been a lot of recent posts there, but I have this feeling that it's going to pick up very soon. So yeah, you can definitely check those out. I will link all of that in the description to this video. And here in a moment I will get into the reading. As I've mentioned in previous videos, I'm still having unique experiences here, and there again, I don't do any form of drugs, so I feel fairly certain that I'm not hallucinating. but the noises at times that I hear and the strange electrical, surges and things like that are continuing to occur. While I was doing that private reading, not 20 minutes ago, I heard more of those noises above me, and there again, we don't have a functional attic, so it's not very likely that anyone is actually up there roaming around, or at least not a physical person anyway, so strange phenomenon, but definitely interesting. And I think further messages to me that my awareness is opening. It seems that the more attentive I am to these unique occurrences, the greater their frequency. So that is the goal. And it has been interesting so far. So both of these readings that I'm going to do this evening are going to be the standard 5 card that I normally do, and they will be for the month. I have not received any messages right off, to alter that to a different time frame. Yet again, I will mention this private reading that I did earlier today. Something really odd occurred. As I was laying out the cards, I was saying that it was going to be a 5 card layout as usual, and then this very powerful intuitive message came to me that no, I was wrong, and that there was a reason, a resonance for another card. And so that became a 6th card, and that's not, I don't have that sketched out, in my layout, and so I had no reference point for what that 6th card was supposed to be about. So I had to take some special time and attention to try to intuitively, get that feeling and that message of what the card was about and what it was saying, and that was really interesting. So that was a surprise. So the point in mentioning it here is you don't know what's going to happen from moment to moment. As an intuitive process, and you're trying to divine information, you're working with energies and your guides. You just sort of take it moment by moment and see, what happens. Okay. I'm going to take a moment to ground myself, and then we will try to get into this reading. Okay. All right. Let's see. Okay, give me a moment here to connect my energies fully with the deck and the cards, and connect this reading and the cards with crystal. Alright. Supposed to turn those. Okay, here we are. Okay. Alright, let's see this first card. Okay. Alright, for this status card, this first card, it is the boy reversed. Immediately when I turn this card over, I'm getting this intuitive impression that this is about, if the card were not reversed, the card would be speaking to me saying freedom, you know, youth, and you've got these primary colors here that are very strong, that are standing out in the card, which is like vibrance, and being reversed here, intuitively I get this impression that this card is saying, to some degree, a feeling of standing still, of not making as much progress possibly as you would want to be making right now, or yeah, I'm still getting this intuitive feeling of frustration due to possibly circumstance more so than anything. Yeah, like creativity being blocked or interfered with, almost to some degree, like an excess of responsibility. You know, that leaves this feeling of being restrained. So yeah, that's my status card. Not necessarily a bad status, just it is what it is. For the beginning of this month, that's what I'm feeling there. Okay. This is an odd card for this challenge card. I'm going to go ahead and show it to you and then try to intuit a bit more from it. Your challenge card is the Elven Knight, and it is also reversed. So here, I mean, intuitively right off when I turn this card over, what I'm getting is just a lot of dissonance, but there again it's reversed, which leads me to believe that it would suggest, you know, peace. I don't know though. Intuitively I'm getting this impression here that this being reversed not necessarily represents peace, but it represents, how to word that, sorry, there's a lot of energy coming out of this card, and it's a lot of, like, it's very chaotic to me because I'm very sensitive to energy, and there's a lot in this card. There's a weird schism in this card. This knight, in a sense, is alone, but he's not, because he's surrounded by, you know, all sorts of other entities and beings and people and things. So even though this is reversed, I'm getting kind of this impression from this card, a deeper intuitive, that this is about, to some degree, isolation that isn't helpful. This isn't, you know, taking time for the self and that being restorative. There is a sort of somberness to this, specifically reversed. Were it turned over, there again the elf would be surrounded by a lot of people, and so there would be some level of companionship. But that's what I'm drawing from the chaos of this card, is a strange element of isolation. There's the card is very, very busy. I gotta take a moment from that. Okay. Okay. Alright, your tool card here is the Maiden, and it is reversed. I'm not sure how well you can see it via the cam. The first thing intuitively that came to me when I looked at this card is the fact that this Maiden appears asleep. And so with this being reversed, there again, to me, intuitively, I'm getting this message and this feeling that this is about awareness. This is about being awake, and I'm getting self-awareness, self-realization. there's also this message of avoiding self-deception. This is kind of about, like, it's strange because this came up in another reading, but this is about stepping out of that box. Like there's a box and it's like, oh, I am this person or I am this thing. And this maiden card is speaking to me saying the transition, the tool here in this card is to step out of that using self-reflection, self-awareness, and that's going to help with some of this chaos and this sense of loneliness, even in the middle of the hurricane that is this card right here. Yeah. I'm hearing more of those noises at that moment. When I watched one of these videos where I'd mentioned those noises before, I didn't hear it via the cam, so obviously they are subtle enough that it doesn't come through, but nevertheless, unique timing. Okay. Very nice outcome card here. It has come up before in other readings, so this is very pleasant. Yeah. Okay. Your outcome card is the joy of the future. In my mind, it's a beautiful outcome card, and intuitively, as soon as I turn this card over, what I'm seeing here not only is a celebration, it's a sharing of time and energy in harmony with other people, but intuitively, when I turn this card over, I'm drawn to this figure in the middle, and they are holding what appears to be acorns or some type of seeds, and there's a balance there, and this speaks to balance to me, and it speaks to resolution of this chaos that I mentioned in this challenge card. So that's very promising. I feel a lot of light and a lot of love in this card, a lot of goodness. So definitely, I think a very positive outcome. Okay, here's our fifth card. Very odd. This has actually occurred before, I believe. Okay. I will show you this card there again. This is the fifth card, which is a specific card for you for this month. And as I always say, I encourage you to draw your own unique message from this card. I'll give my interpretation. Your fifth card is the hidden one, and it is reversed. I will show it to you right side up so that you can see it clearly, hopefully. And this being reversed like this, it speaks to me to the whole reading, and it says self-realization, self-awareness yet again. It's sort of echoing that. this, whatever this is going on that's causing this chaos and this feeling of separateness via this tool. I mean, it's all interconnected to this outcome, and I think this is sort of the key, the heart of it, is some type of deeper self-awareness outside of that box, like I said. And understand, when I say box, I don't say that in a derogatory way, because we all have our own self-created guidelines, you might say, for who we are, or ways that we identify with who we are. But this card is speaking to the fact that as a conscious creative being, you are fully capable of being anyone that you want to be, even if that person is someone drastically different from who you were a week ago or 10 minutes ago, for that matter. You are you, and that is beyond definition. So yeah, that's my take on that card. And there again, the message in that card will speak directly to you, in in a unique way. So, as I always say, I hope that you found some use and some meaning in the reading itself. I did this reading particularly to say thanks for the reading that you did for me, and so I hope that it proves useful. I'm going to take a moment, and then I will begin the second reading. Okay. And as I have mentioned in previous videos, if you are watching this now and you are interested in having a reading done, simply leave me a comment and I will certainly be glad to do so. My goal is to continue to do daily readings. Alright, give me a moment here to further connect my energies with the cards and the deck, and to connect this reading with Eva. Okay. Alright. Those need to be turned. Okay. I gotta take a moment. I'm getting intuitively that it's not the moment to turn the card just yet. As I'd mentioned in some previous videos, you know, I'm still very new to working with the cards, and it has been, or I should say it had been, my practice, and up until recently, that I was only doing 1 or 2 readings, you know, every few days or something like that. So now I have transitioned from that to doing, I think this will make the 2nd day of doing 3 readings in a day, or 2 or 3 readings at least in a day. And so it's quite a bit. And I personally am still getting accustomed to the energies of the cards and the energies coming and the intuition and the whole process of it. I really enjoy it. But being as sensitive as I am to energies, it has taken some getting used to and some adjustment. Okay, let's see if we're ready. Okay. My favorite card in the deck, as I have said before. Here being the status card. I personally don't view this as good or bad. I think those are limited terms anyway. Your status card, the beginning of the 5 here, is the dreaming. Intuitively, when I turn this card over, the impression that I'm getting is simply that it is, in a sense, dreaming, but not, you know, dreaming via being asleep, but it's about thinking about the future, making those sorts of plans. Also, intuitively from this card, in this moment, I'm getting this impression of its goodness. It's about having faith in the future, thinking about positive things in the future, positive affirmations. A conscious approach to that, to having a positive view of the future. So all in all, yeah, I think a very good beginning to this reading. I get this feeling of a lot of love, a lot of light here in this card. Okay. In some ways, not surprised to see this card here, though surprised to see it reversed. Okay. The intuition of this card came really fast. A very loud message. Alright. So your challenge card for this month is In Two Minds, and it is reversed. And so immediately when I turn this card over, I'm getting this impression of almost rigidity of thought and a lack of, you know, a lack of weighing the two. Like there's a, how to word this, if we connect it to the dreaming card, then there's this impression that it's just a river that's let loose and it's going full throttle, and the challenge here is a lack of being attentive to other sides of an equation or a view or a goal. This challenge card to me speaks inherently of you know, being too focused in one direction. Yeah, that's the impression that I'm getting. Okay. Interesting. Same card from the previous reading. Okay. Alright, your tool card is the boy, reversed. Turn it up so that you can see it. Therein, in the reversed, it took me a moment to pick up on the intuition from it, but the impression that I'm getting here, you know, were this card this way, it would represent, you know, freedom of youth and to some degree folly, you know, just being young and free and running, jumping in piles of leaves and there. And I'm not saying any of that is bad, but here reversed, it very loudly speaks to this need for a more concise view, like a I hate to put these in terms of youth or adult, but an adult. This speaks to a view of experience, you know, like a time-tested, life-learned lessons sort of view of like a wisdom, wisdom gained over time. That's the impression, the intuition that I'm getting from here. And now, further looking at the card and the intuition here, you've got this figure in the background. With one eye, and it's sort of peering out, and it's an elderly old figure, almost blended into the landscape. And so there again, it further harkens on that notion of the crone and wisdom and age and sort of maturity of view and awareness. So definitely, I would say that's the tool there, wisdom and awareness. Okay. Take a little moment here. Okay. very interesting card. Definitely interesting, considering the placement. Okay. This is really odd. Okay, so your outcome card is the Queen of Hearth and Home. And and it was reversed. I'll show it this way so that you can see it a little more clearly, hopefully. So with this being reversed, as I turned it over intuitively, I get this message of travel, but not necessarily physical travel, but this is speaking to an exploration or some type of journey. With this being reversed, there again, it's about letting go of a traditional view or a traditional role. I feel mystery and intrigue in this card. Yeah. So, some type of there again, she's holding a mask and that is standing out, so it's sort of kind of playful in a way. It's a very unusual outcome card, but definitely I get the impression of a transition. Intuitively, that's the message that I'm getting, some type of transformative experience as an outcome. And I would say it's a positive thing. I get a positive feeling from it. Though, as I said, definitely mysterious. Okay, this final card. Not ready quite yet. Okay. Wow. Okay. Very fitting, considering the outcome card. Very fitting. Alright. Your personal card there again, this is the 5th card that will speak to you directly, is the challenge. I'll try to hold it as still as I can so that you can see it very well. You can pause the video if you need. Yet again, turning this over, first impression on an intuitive level, the message that I'm getting here for this card is this is about the challenge, which is, the things that have come up in the rest of this reading. The challenge for this month is to embrace the mystery. There are masks coming up in this reading, with the Queen of Hearth and Home, and now here with this challenge. And so it's about not being daunted by those masks or things that might be hidden behind a veil or things that might seem mysterious or unknown. For me, intuitively, this card is saying be open to that mystery and be willing to explore it, because you're going to gain something very useful from it. As I have said, though, this is your personal card and it's going to have a specific message for you, a certain resonance that you yourself will pick up on. So I'll show it to the camera again. This is your card and the message for you is there in it. So all in all, I think a very positive reading, an interesting one, but definitely positive, I would say. So as I said earlier, I will link to Cystal's channel and Eva's channel and Eva's Facebook group in the description for this video, so definitely check those out if you're interested. And yet again, if you yourself want a reading, leave me a comment, let me know, and I'll be glad to do one. So yeah, that's all I have for this video. At this point it is probably running long. As I usually say, I hope that all of you are well. I send you love and light, harmony and happiness, and I will speak with you soon.